It's just a matter of time. Be patient. Don't be disheartened. Somebody else will do it.
First step to actually grow as a successful entrepreneur is to be a part of a community and not be selfish and say, this is my life, this is my journey, this is my business.
See, the one aspect I got was how do I approach mentors? And a lot of times they're assuming you're approaching for somebody that cannot be the case, right? We kind of tend to appear very desperate, and then what happens, everybody's thinking you're approaching for money, so they may kind of put you off. I think it should be very clear that you actually are in a certain situation. Maybe you're having a co-founder issue, or maybe employee join nahi kar rahe. Those are the things one can reach out to, and I think it's important to find people who care for you. Why would somebody mentor somebody, right? They should believe that their time was worthwhile. You are genuine, and whatever advice they gave you, actually you are going to use it. So it's important that at different stage one has to figure out how to find the right connect. One fun fact I want to put is when I 22 years ago in 2002, I used to be secretary of Rotasia in my college, NIT Surat. So for REC Surat there. I think it's been fabulous. I'm so glad, to be associated with Rotasia and Rotary.
We know each other now for nearly a decade. You have been one of these pioneers of actually starting this startup ecosystem and events and gatherings. All of us have benefited from it, so thank you so much for that, Shesh. And you also have a lot of founders who are actually working out of BHIVE, and you are also been investing in startups. So if you would like to share with the audience some of these incredibly innovative startups, the founders, what are they doing? Which are the sectors that seem to be really growing?
My journey has been a bit different. I think most of us here are engineers, and I started as a software engineer. I worked, in Bangalore for 3 years. I was in US for 8 years. Worked in Wall Street, etc. in software. Came back. Started BHIVE more accidentally. Real estate is not my background. My parents were in education. My father was in my university, so didn't have any business background as such. But I think I could see the gap of the fact that there was no co-working space formally done in Bangalore at that time, 2014, and I really wanted. I came back really honestly for the startup ecosystem. I used to sit in New York, read, your story, etc., and say that hey, so much is happening in India, I should be going back. Why am I sitting in New York? So I came back, but I think for me, since there were no co-working space, I realized that I hardly could interact with anybody. So I think for me the journey was to really bring that space together where a lot of startup founders can be there, interaction can happen, events can happen, things like this could happen. And I think that leads to the journey. I think that I was very fortunate for whatever choices I made that led me to a situation where I could actually deal with a lot of founders, important people, etc. That has of course given some perspective. So among your own things, of course, I've seen the journey. I've been an investor as well. I think one of my most successful investment was Lead Square. In fact, that I had invested in them before coming back to India. So that also inspired me watching their journey. I think what happens is as an ecosystem, some kind of a participation. For me, being an NRI, investing in Indian startup, which is in Bangalore, I could follow what they're doing, and gives me confidence that I could come back and do something here. Of course, SaaS is something that has taken off really well. Back then, nobody would understand software as a service. Otherwise, if you look at our own customers, if I would really touch upon some. One, I think, of course, many have been raising, Moko is doing very well in D2C. I think what I see is that e-commerce, etc., B2B e-commerce, a lot of trend was there. I think today a lot of D2C has been a big trend. I think some of them are doing really well. I think I'm very surprised. When I was in US, I could have never thought Indians could build such a strong brand which can beat Americans. I used to always think Americans are so good in building brand, Indians are workers. But today I see companies like Moko, etc., they are actually building great Indian brands. Sometimes we don't even know the brands we see are Indian or foreign. I actually look up.
India was always built, whether it was before or in the future, but we just didn't know how to brand and market ourselves, which we're learning slowly, and we will probably reach there by the time we reach to become the third economy.
Absolutely. And last 10 years is such a transformation, right? 10 years, 15 years, starting from Bollywood to IPL to our own products, etc. I think And I think India is quite a transformation. And honestly, 10 years back, I wouldn't have met somebody who has education institution, who's as confident as you, and understands the aspects that really needs to be taught, right? I would always think people are very conservative in terms of how education is done. I think I really see that India has changed a lot. I'm so glad I came back in 2014. I think the timing was so right, and I think so much is happening, and really, I think the start, and Bangalore is at the center of it.